Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about Destiny and that stank attitude. That stank attitude gets to go. I feel like the whole trip she had a bad attitude. And to me, it's like, why come on a trip if you're going to have a bad attitude the entire time? Also, I do want to talk about Kimmy a little bit. I feel like Kimmy is not a girl's girl and I want us to get into it. If you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and everyone please like and share. Everything I say in this video is alleged, in my opinion only, and for entertainment purposes. Now let's get into it. In the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, we saw Destiny yet again in another episode with a stank attitude. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to her facial expressions since the last episode, the episode before that, it was like her energy has been on 10 since she got to the trip. Now, I understand you're showing up at a trip because you want to make your money. That's okay. However, you should also be able to enjoy the festivities whilst you are there without having a stank attitude the whole time. We met people who are so attention seeking that whenever the attention is not on them, they do whatever they can do to try to pull that attention back to them. I feel like that's exactly who Destiny is. Because everyone was at the dinner talking about how Mel did a nice thing. Kimmy was basically praising Mel and saying that she has never been on a girl's trip, but it turned out to be wonderful. Of course, acknowledging the host who did a great job. Let's be clear. Everyone had, or majority of the girls had issues with each other, like Sunny and Destiny. Sunny and Nell are not necessarily friends. Destiny and Mel. And then if you think about Trish and her lies and all that sorts of things, everyone were, or majority of the castmates are not exactly friends outside of the show. So for them to be able to all coexist in an honor trip for days and still give us a balance of having a good time and also the drama, I think you should give preps to the host. I don't see a problem with that. But then Destiny, the whole time, had a stank face. It just seems like she was unnecessarily jealous of the attention that people were giving Mel and praising her for a job well done. It wouldn't hurt you as a guest to thank the host, especially as you were a +1. You were not the hostess choice. She did not invite you. You got invited by somebody who was invited to this trip. I just think it's very disrespectful to have that attitude when you were a +1. If you weren't there, nobody would have missed you. You were a +1. I do like that Melody called it out and tried to get to the bottom of why does she disagree? Why is she making faces? And I'm just like, yeah, Mel, call it out. Let's know what is being said. Call it out. Call it what it is. Destiny was saying in her confessionals that she feels like there's too much ass kissing, and also brought up that she didn't like when they were asking Sunny about having kids. My thing is, now I understand Mel trying to then apologize as a unit and be like, okay, I can understand how that could have made you feel a certain way. I apologize on behalf of the group. I think Mel was just like, this is my trip. We need to end it on a high note. If I have to apologize for everybody, I'm finna apologize. Let's end this and focus. I feel like that is what she was trying to do. She refused to give Destiny the moment that Destiny was looking for, and I really appreciated it. I feel like Destiny was about to go off on a tangent by addressing the whole Sunny and the kids thing and everyone bringing it up. And even after Nell apologized, she was still trying to and Mel was like, well, Nell has apologized and I'm apologizing on behalf of the whole group. Mel was like, I do not want to hear ish. I am ending this trip on a good note, okay? I feel like that's what Mel was on, and I was absolutely here for it. I love the touch of giving everyone a white rose to signify new beginnings. Of course, we know that ain't gonna last long, but at least it is obvious that Mel is like, I'm gonna give you all this. This is my olive branch. I brought you all on a trip and we're ending it on a high note. And I love that that was it. I always feel like no matter how crazy trips are, like ending it on a good high note is always the best, in my opinion. I feel like this episode, Destiny's slip was showing. I've always thought she had a stank attitude, and it's showing yet again. So I'm not surprised at all. I also wanted to talk, like I said, about Kimmy. I feel like Kimmy is not a girl's girl. I've said it before. I feel like I've said it so many times, but I feel like she really isn't. And the reason I wanted to focus on today is the fact that she kept saying, I don't do girls' trips. And I'm just like, okay, you said it the first time we heard you. You said it again. Then when you were with Maurice, you said it again. And let's not forget the times you said it in the previous episodes, which means you have an issue with female to female relationships or women to women relationships, which is a problem. I've noticed, and this is like from personal experiences, when I meet women who say, oh, I don't really have a lot of female friends, I don't really do girls, I have more male friends, all that kind of stuff, it always ends up in me seeing things to make me realize why they don't have female friends. Usually ends up, now of course there's going to be some exceptions, so don't start coming for me in the comment section because you are the exception. But as a general rule, most people who say that have issues with women, have issues in terms of building quality relationships with other women. That's usually because, one, for instance, they may not be someone of character themselves, and they are usually male identified. So for some reason, it could be something about their upbringing, the way they've perceived women from when they were younger. That usually ties into it. Let's be clear. I know people, and I'm one of them, who has a lot of male siblings. That does not change the fact that I also have relationships with women and healthy relationships with women. You will never catch me saying I don't do girls trips and saying it over and over and over again. It gives the impression you feel like women can't get along. Why? Is it because you cannot get along with women? Is there something we need to be exploring about that? If you notice, I know some people may not really be keen on like her interaction with Maurice, and I'm never really keen on their interactions. But if you notice, when they were talking, Maurice kind of was like, oh, really? Like, what is your... It was like Maurice was pointing out that she's very anti-girl. Is it because you feel like girls are drama? That kind of stuff, which ultimately is how I really believe that Kimmy feels. Let's not forget, a girl's girl is not going to be asking about the side chick and not the wife, okay? A girl's girl will have empathy for the wife over and above any empathy, if any, that you feel for the other woman. A girl's girl would be concerned about the welfare of the woman in the relationship when the man has openly been abusive towards his wife. Let's be clear, you guys knew that Martell was cheating for a long time, in my opinion. Yet, you guys did not rally around Mel to support and help her through that. That is not a girl's girl. If I found out today that somebody I know, right, they may even be an acquaintance, is dealing with what Mel has gone through, I will show up for them. In any way in which I can, I will try to support in whatever capacity that I can do. Not to talk of someone that is, in quotation marks, my friend, or someone who gave me the opportunity to be on a platform where I can get money and be exposed to hopefully promote my businesses. I would be doing whatever I can for her to see that, yo, I am here for you. I support you. I got your back. The fact that she did not do that, and yet on the screen, we've seen her call Martell a good guy. We've seen her double down on that. We've seen her give Martell passes. We've seen her refuse to call the other woman coleslaw. We've seen her ask about the other woman, but not the wife. Do you know how vile you have to be? Do you know how much of a male identified person you have to be to not have that basic level of empathy that you would have? I feel like Kimmy clearly doesn't have the characteristics that it takes to be a girl's girl. If you're a girl's girl, you're a supportive woman. You root for other girls. You help them where you can. If their crown is like tilting to the side, you readjust it. You don't throw shots at women whenever you can and feel like it, when you don't have a direct issue with them. And you certainly do not support the abuser and the cheat in a relationship. Okay? So based on this, I'm not surprised that she says she doesn't like girls trip. I don't think nobody wants to invite her to girls trip. Now, I say that, but then in reality, she was actually all right on the show. I feel like, other than the whole issue with the rooms, I think altogether with the whole girls trip, she was actually all right. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.